Welcome back to SM2 Basics. This is Part 2, the Search Project. Everything you do in SM2 is part of a search project. This video is an overview of everything that a search project is made up of. We won't be looking at actual SM2 screens, but rather we'll be showing you at a high level all the parts of search projects. A search project is an activity which gathers social media content focused on providing insight into specific aspects of a brand, product, or topic. A search project should be defined by a single main objective, which determines, at a high level, the attributes of the search project. We will go into more detail about defining the main objective in the next video. An example of the main objective might be, how has public perception of the Acme Super Shoe changed in the US relative to Nike since the launch of our marketing campaign last spring? Everything in a search project should be in service of the main objective. Search projects are made up of profiles. Occasionally, for purposes of performance or organization, search projects can span multiple profiles, but for this tutorial, it's easiest to think of profiles as synonymous with search projects. Let's use our Super Shoe example for our profile. Profiles consist of one or more searches and a result set. A search is a specific request made for social media content containing specific words and is often filtered to exclude other words, return content published within a specific date range in specific languages, etc. The result set is the collection of posts, tweets, articles, etc. that match the criteria in the search. Let's learn about the search first. A search is primarily made up of the search string, which is a Boolean statement specifying words to search for and optionally words to exclude. A Boolean statement is a logical construction of terms and operators. It helps to understand the basics of Boolean logic to build search strings. Look for a video called Introduction to Boolean Logic, which is part of this video series. Words in a search string are commonly referred to as keywords. There are three types of keywords that make up a search string. Let's look at each of them. The most important of these are the subject terms. These define the main brand, product, or topic you are searching on, such as Super Shoe. Your subject may be referred to in multiple ways, including abbreviations, nicknames, and so on, and it is important to make sure SM2 catches all this content, so there will frequently be multiple subject terms to identify a single subject. These are strung together using the OR operator. For example, Super Shoe may be written as one word or two. While many search strings are made up of only subject terms, a search can be more narrowly defined with the use of includes. Perhaps you are only interested in a certain aspect of your product or brand, or perhaps further clarification is needed to distinguish it from irrelevant uses of the same term. For example, the phrase Super Shoe may be used to refer to something other than your product, so you might want to add the brand name, Acme, to your includes. Subject terms and includes are connected using the operator AND, meaning a result has to contain both one of the subject terms and one of the includes. Again, for a primer on Boolean logic as it is used in SM2 search strings, please see the video in this series titled Introduction to Boolean Logic. The third type of keyword is called excludes. Any social media content containing an exclude will not be returned. Excludes can also be used to narrow your search. For example, perhaps the Acme company sponsored a 10K run in Seattle recently, but you are not interested in social media content regarding this event. You could perhaps add 10K and Seattle to your list of excludes. Excludes are defined using the Boolean not operator. In SM2, the minus sign can be used as well as not, which is what you will be seeing in our search strings in these videos. Here is what your search string might look like given the keywords we have entered here. In addition to the search string, a search can contain other parameters which further refine the search. These include a date range. Referring back to our main objective, we are only interested in social media since our campaign last spring. You can also limit the search to specific countries. In this case, we are only interested in the US. and you can limit the search by language. If there are specific websites from which you do not want content returned, these websites can be specified in the blacklist. For example, perhaps a large amount of biased content can be found on your own company's website, and you don't want those results to affect reporting. Simply add it to the blacklist and it will not be searched. You may add as many sites as needed to the blacklist, but don't worry about common spam or e-commerce sites, as SM2 already maintains a large master blacklist of those sites. Frequently, a single profile can contain more than one search for reasons of readability, organization, or performance. In our example, we want to compare Super Shoe content against Nike, so it would probably make sense to build a separate search for Nike-related content. For simplicity's sake, though, the profile we are using in this video series uses just a single search. When you've completed building your search, SM2 runs it on thousands of internet sites and returns a result set of all social media content matching the search criteria. However, even the most sophisticated search will always return a certain percentage of irrelevant results. As you look through your result set, you will inevitably discover many results which, while they technically satisfy the criteria established by your search, are not actually relevant to the search project's main objective. At this point, you may choose to go back and further refine and rerun your search to increase the percent of relevant results. You can also simply block irrelevant results. Once you are satisfied with the relevance percentage of your result set, you can organize the result set into categories. Categories are subsets of your result set, which you can define in numerous ways. SM2 also automatically provides some default categories for you. In our Super Shoe example, you might want separate categories for content which mentions color, fit, style, and price. Categories can be used in reporting to compare these subsets. This is the basic structure for an SM2 search project. In the next video, we will go into some detail on defining your main objective.